Welcome to the always fun, always special Throwback Thursday. Let me start off. And I got my old blue gray All Star Game jersey. Hey, what you got on there, Ant? Come on, man. What you know about Pittsburgh? What you know about Pittsburgh, man? That's Barry. That's who that Barry B. So what's going on, man? Ah, yeah, I teed you up on that one. Yeah. That is facts. I am getting to that level, man. 2 kids, married 20 years, man. I don't know if no, selfish is kind of strong word. I don't think you selfish. I I think you are selective. Right, right. So,
Ungrateful is not so really much so ungrateful, but I really don't know how to put it because I don't really tell the stories the way they should be told. Like when Bubba was on here,
right,
we talked about my time at high school being in the Hall of Fame or whatever.
right.
Nobody, y'all didn't really understand why I'm saying. All you understand is I played at this school, I did this, I did that, whatever. But in high school, our tenure there, and in the '70s, there was some great guys. But our tenure there, we accomplished a lot more than anybody's ever accomplished. Like we were sending people D1 like crazy. I mean, just the people, several people when you say you the first person in your school to
Right.
get a football scholarship, we
Yes.
was doing that. Well, the guy before us was player of the year. He went to Ohio State, but there was a couple of them. But there was three people in one class
Uh-huh.
went big Division 1, all played pro ball.
Wow, wow.
And then, but there was then a year after we had people go to Division 1, and we had people, go to Division 1, like that played on the field with us. There was
Uh-huh.
probably 6, 7 people that went Division 1 in a small area. So, I don't. But the point was that I've always been, contrary to popular belief, I've always been the type of person that, I'm team first. Like, let me do what you need me to do. Like, we gonna win. You just tell me what aspect you need me to play. Basketball,
Right.
you need me to rebound? I'll rebound. You need me to just guard the point guard, make sure he don't get 30? I'll do that. You
Right.
need me to score? I score. Football, you need me to block, be a decoy? I block, be a decoy. You need me to catch the ball? You need me to run the ball? Whatever it is, man. So, I don't really, so that's why I say we don't really talk about the stories. But
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's you don't want it to be all about yourself sometimes. You don't want to be that guy, but sometimes like you have to be
all
that
right,
guy because
hold on.
yeah. What's up?
They're killing me.
What's that?
I'm not. My phone had too much noise on it. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Uh, sometimes if as my dad said, if you don't do it, who's gonna do it? No, who's gonna give you that if you can't give it to yourself? So sometimes I think it's and you have to do it, right? So I don't mind it. I mean, sometimes you just gotta give yourself props. So then people hear you, they're like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember when Ant went for 260 on such and such. You know what I'm saying? You have to refresh their memory sometimes.
But see, that ain't the way I see it. That ain't the way it comes back to me. Like, that's not the way I see it. The way I see it is, I've never asked anybody to give me nothing. Like, I ain't never came to nobody and was like, look, give me the ball. Give me the ball. The game's on the line. I think my teammates always knew that if I need him, he'll do whatever we want him to do. But then when we look back, we start talking about Hall of Fames and accomplishments. Now, you know, I know people who have cried for the Rock and things like that, and they got it. And now it's still kind of pressure, like they excel. Then there's, then I'm kind of like, well, if I would have asked for the Rock more, I obviously would have been more productive because my opportunities would have been higher, which production would have been higher. But at the end of the day, that's just ain't my personality. So when I sit back and watch people collect accolades, and at this point, it's like, but if I would have asked for them, I still feel like at this point, if I would have gave Keyshawn Johnson, throw me the damn ball,
right?
That type deal, I still, it ain't my personality, and I would hate for that to backfire on me, and people would be like, I don't want to play, I don't want to play with him because of that. Right?
Yeah, it's, people gonna complain at whatever you do. Positive, negative, you know what I'm saying? That's just how the world is, man.
Oh no, yeah. We're seeing that right now, man. We're seeing that right now. So what we got going on today, man?
Man, look, obviously, remind the people to call in. Click that link. Go to our Twitter site. Go on Facebook. Click the Zoom link if you want to come on live. We also got a special guest today. Ross Reed, he's co-host of Mac and Reed in Chi-Town. He's all Chicago. Now I'm gonna get on him because he's supposed to be a White Sox fan, but he seems to root for the Cubs too, which is sacrilegious. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. He's a diehard Bears fan too, so it's gonna be some interesting stuff.
Hey, I know we talked about having him on the show or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I you gave me a little background on it. Then you clink the leg, man. That brother's put together, man.
Bro,
how we expect to maintain the job and you bring in you try, hey, and I ain't a bad looking guy. I ain't as ugly as you. But this brother put together, man.
Man, he's
hey,
a
man,
fitness guy.
Hey, tell him this is a one-time deal for him. He ain't coming back, man. I ain't losing none of my fan base because this brother stay in shape and whatnot else.
Are you scared? You really scared? You scared of another man?
Hey, Ray, what the?
Come on,
hey,
man.
I never thought I'd see the day that old Van House would give up on the old A White.
I'm just saying, the words you just used just now got me fearful of what you thinking about. Your thought process. I don't know if it's that Rona that got you shook, but man, you done changed in this last 5 minutes. I remember you shaking up Louisville your freshman year. Now you being shook by someone you ain't even met yet.
Oh, shook? No, never that, man. I'm gonna welcome the young brother, man. We gonna get him in here. All I'm saying is, I just thought you was talking about some kind of journalist wear suit and tie, eat donuts, and whatnot. I didn't know you was talking about it. I didn't know you was talking about a brother like us, man, but more fitter.
Yeah, he trying to get like a John Clayton body type.
Nah, give me like a Tom Leach. Give me an old just.
Whoa, hold on. Are you really gonna throw out Tom Leach that saved?
Oh no, I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm saying give me somebody who is a household name, do their thing, And I'm not. I mean, I was gonna name more than one person. You know what I'm saying? All the people I work with, shit. Out of the show I do on Sunday mornings, Larry Vaught, Curtis Birch,
right?
Shit, Larry Vaught, the oldest and probably in the best shape out of all of us.
Facts. That's true. Now Larry's in shape, man.
Like even Mark Berger, for his little self, he probably in better shape than your boy, man.
Why you say little self?
But nah, man. So yeah, man. So
I got a question for you before. Oh boy, Ross gonna come up at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. So we got a few minutes. What did you see this story on Blake Snell?
Dog, fill your boy in. Go ahead, fill your boy in.
Blake Snell I'm not sure what position he played because I'm not a baseball guy, so I'm not gonna act like I really know what position he plays. But apparently he was on social media, I think Twitch maybe, and saying that it's not smart for him as a player to come back in half a season. He's like, they're already taking off 33% of my salary because of this corona, and now they want to take. Now they're gonna have us play half a season, which means I'm gonna get paid half of what I'm supposed to get paid, plus 33% off of that half, and I gotta be quarantined away from my loved ones for God knows how long, just to make somebody else a buck, but they cut my salary.
You know where I stand on that whole deal, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just, if you heard that, it's kind of interesting hearing the current player say something like that.
But this is what that brother don't understand. At the end of the day, you can be out with no job. Everybody, in the last 2 years, any brother I've seen cry about their salary and try to make a change. Back in the day, Emmitt Smith and them, you might be able to hold down and give me, let me get my chips. But now, man, after seeing what I done seen, I'd be a little bit apprehensive.
Yeah.
On trying.
You're right, man. It threw me for a loop. I'm going through my Twitter feed and I come up on that someone retweeted it. I'm like, whoa. He went in. Like he went in. Like how he didn't say it like this. I'm gonna just put my spin on it. Like how dare y'all suggest I take a pay cut? It doesn't matter how much money I make. I'm taking a pay cut because of what? And I'm subjecting myself to harm for someone else to make some money.
Right, absolutely.
He broke it down. I'm like, dude, to say this, and he didn't just say this to a writer, you know what I'm saying, where maybe he's in his local paper and it's only, who's reading newspaper anymore. You might get a little bit of news, but he went on social media on his Twitch account. Right. So now how many followers, how many people have heard that? How many people have retweeted? That's got a lot of eyes.
Yeah, and it might hurt them fan-wise, man, because when you're not playing for the love or you act like you don't care, like if it's all about money, I mean, and that's why, as much as I don't like LeBron does a good job of not putting himself in predicaments where he compromising his fans. Except for that leaving Cleveland incident. Other than that, he don't compromise his fan credibility too often.
And this right here
is compromise. This is a compromisation.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't really know is he a award winner? Like,
I don't know.
Just a good player. Like
I don't know how good he is. I'm not sure if he's a pitcher or he's a infielder. He looks like a.
Oh, you don't even know what position is most.
No, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Let me see if I can find some. I have no
idea.
This
ain't Yasiel Puig or nobody. I'm saying, like Yasiel, man, I like to just watch him act a fool. Like I don't give a nothing. Let me watch him act a fool, man.
Can you imagine he said that? Nah, he's a pitcher, man. And now I'm looking on because I just listened to the little clip on Twitter. But yeah, he's on his Twitch account. He's playing a game. they playing MLB, and I see a little. He's got a little icon up off to the side. He's going in.
Wow.
It's kind of fun. God, I don't know why I'm talking about baseball. No, I watch.
This why you talk about baseball?
Probably.
Dang, right. I need to change my camera. I can look down and see what side my number on.
And that's Pittsburgh, not Twinsburg. That's Pittsburgh, not Twinsburg.
At the end of the day, it's the bird. At the end of the day, it's the bird.
It's two different birds. One is Championship Town, and Twinsburg is home of A. White.
No, we Title Town, man. We Title Town, man. I can't name a championship I wasn't in while I was in school. I can't name a championship I wasn't in, big fella.
Yeah. So, Ant, what
Daddy your pipe was smoking.
What was your best game in high school? It don't have to be football. It can be basketball. Your best game where you came away where you was like, man, I'm that dude today or tonight.
I guess all of them happened my senior year. I rushed for 289, 4 touchdowns. In a comeback, we went in halftime down 20-21. And we wound up winning, I think 50-something to 21.
What?
I had 289. I had like 289, 4 touchdowns. I had a 75-yarder, 52-yarder, 40, a 12-yarder. And but in basketball, listen, man, this people don't know, man. And we don't talk about this. I had 25 points in the first quarter. I finished the game with 28.
I got something similar.
So I was hot, and because all my boys, like the team I play on, we was all boys. So if they see you hot, I'm just coming off screen. We don't normally do that.
Right.
I'm hitting everything. Like dudes in the hood still talk. They say you would win for 100. But the team that mind you, I ain't. The team we played for was nothing. Like, but in our conference, there weren't too many people that could compete with us. But yeah, those two moments right there was like. But to me, it was business as usual. But by the same token, I could have did more damage.
Right.
So that was the point where I'm like, I'm going to be a team player. Only reason I got that many points in basketball is because my teammates realized, like, this dude's in the zone, man. Just keep throwing him the rock. And the coach knew that. So he pulled me out. He kept me out most of the second quarter, put me back in like the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, then pulled me out halfway through the third quarter. When I came out, I think I may have hit another 3-pointer. Or I always guard the point guard. So if you got a bad point guard, I can strip the ball from you and just score it back to back.
Right.
But yeah, them was 2 moments I can think of. Go ahead, let me know about yourself.
Hold on. What? I got one question. What the coach was trying to win, or y'all beating them by 50 in the first quarter? Because what took you out the game?
I told you, like, dude, the teams we played against weren't on our level. Okay. We beat one team 82-28. That team, I think we beat like 97 to.
Okay, I got you.
40, 30 something. But was that senior night? No, that wasn't senior night. We played that same team on senior night.
Dude, that's crazy.
Maybe it was senior night.
That's crazy.
It may have been senior night.
Yeah, I have 2. And the funny part, my football story is we lost, but I was sick, right? So I was sick. I took this medicine, and I ended up throwing for 3+ like 4 touchdowns, but I cramped up. So I played like a little less than 2/3 of the game and was lighting them up. And then about like every big play, I had to come out, had to sit out. They had to feed me. Look, if we was playing now, I probably could have got an IV at halftime and finished the game. But man, I'll step on the field, make a cut, or throw a pass, cramp, got to come out. Sit out, then go back. Yeah, it was bad. But man, I was lighting them up, man. That was the game. Then my basketball game is similar to yours. The first half, and we was a 3-point team. We were an unathletic team. I went to a private school. I was definitely the most athletic. So we were shooters. hands down, we were shooters, right? So the first half, I think I was 0 for 8. 0 for 8. 0 for. Came back in the third quarter, hit 6 threes in a row. Yak up, yak up, yak up, yak up. Finished with 28. I was 0 in the first half, 28 in the second. Held the record until this new coach came in, like really good coach, and his son came up, bro. His son, I think he made like 15 threes in the game. I'm like, God, 15. You know how many shots you got to throw up to hit 15?
In a game?
In a game. Dude, this now, he was, I don't want to throw this out because it's just wrong. He was Steph Curry-ish. Like, that's how much range he had.
Right.
So, you know, in high school, no one's picking you up from the timeline. He'll come in, they'll set a pick, yank up. He was that good. He was that good of a shooter. So
I could have seen a piece of it. That's what I do. I pick you up. See, if the game, and we were rarely in tight games. If the game is tight, I'm gonna pick you up on the other free throw line. Like, you're gonna work your way out and you're gonna be pissed. And the thing is, like, the fact that I played on so many different levels, that I was already more athletic than the average cat.
Right.
Plus, my point guard was like 5'10", but everybody else on our team was 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", 6'7". I was like second smallest person. So mine, you know, in high school, you ain't gonna find too many 6'6" guards. Or you may, they're probably, but if you get past me, everybody else is 6'4" and bigger.
Right.
So, that was my thing though. Like you said, I would pick, if you were dangerous, I'll make sure you don't get the rock. And if you do, I'm gonna hound you until you get it out of your hands.
Oh wow. Okay, I feel you. Yeah, I'm not I would never say I was a great basketball player, but I was a good basketball player.
Well, if you're an athlete, and that's kind of how, you know, you hear mixed stories about myself, depending on who you ask. Like, some people be like, man, he could play. But it was my effort about it, and I worked on it relentlessly because I could do that in basketball. I had a basketball goal in my backyard.
Right.
Football, I couldn't really work on my instincts. But I worked on my instincts anyway, just doing different stuff, different drills. So, I mean, I can understand that, like, but athlete, typically at the high school level, and maybe some people in the college level, you can perform. Like, we played against Melvin Levitt, the human helicopter, and to me, the dude, I thought he was a pretty good basketball player. He was athletic as heck. He was athletic as heck.
Yeah.
He was a streaky shooter. If he started hitting, he may hit. But man, if he get anywhere around the free throw line or a step in,
he's poking it. He was poking.
And I had a guarded, man. So I came out. Hey, that's all they kept saying was, man, don't let him shoot the three. I mean, don't let him get in the lane, man. He can take off. So I sagged on him, man. He came out and hit 3 straight threes.
Oh.
3 straight threes. Coach called timeout. Are you gonna guard him? Y'all just told me not to let him get in the lane. So, you know, we wound up winning the game. So I wound up coming out on him, and, you know, I could have did a good enough job. But my whole point was, I was sagging on him, like disrespectful sagging. Right. I wouldn't.
You was at the free throw line. We was at the top of the key. You was like,
he on the elbow. He out on the elbow, man. I'm in the paint. I said, man. But I wound up clamping up on it. But he came out and hit straight 3. He looked at me like, the way he shot it, like, I got the video. He shot it like, shrugged his shoulders, like, really? And just hit that thing, man. So, hey, man. It's crazy though, man. Those good old days, man.
Hey, that happens, man.
I done took some lumps. I ain't gonna make it seem like I handed out all the lumps. I done took some.
Come on, man. Everybody took lumps. Now, one thing is, I was smart enough not to get dunked on, because we was in a.
Oh yeah, we had that was one thing we had.
Yeah,
that was a pack we had.
I'm not getting dunked on, but I've seen people get dunked on.
We done dunked on plenty of people. We done dunked on, but we ain't the ones getting dunked on.
Right.
No, like, we getting out the way. If you got a free, like, we played against dude and Derek Dejarnette, just like Jordan, ward number 23, ball headed, everything, played just like Jordan, man. He hit us for 50.
Oh.
And I was on him a little bit. They took me off of him. I don't know why, but I was part of that 50, but they still lost by like 20 something. He was the only thing they had. He was what you was talking about. He was what you was talking about. Like he taking, huh?
So he was taking all the shots.
He taking 80% of them. Unless there's a breakaway and you just pass it out. He taking on, or there's somebody getting a rebound and putting it back. He taking 80% of the shots. Oh yeah, and had like a 40-something inch vert.
Ooh,
it was only like 6 foot, 6'1".
So he was almost Lynn Bolton then.
Nah, Lynn Bolton like 5'10", 5'10".
Okay, all right.
I'm saying he was legit. Like he might have been an inch taller than me, or we was either the same height. He might have been an inch taller than me. But yeah, man. So. Yeah, see, man, you got me thinking, man. You got me really pissed, man.
Why?
You got me really pissed.
Why?
Because now I'm thinking about, man. You got me thinking back down memory lane. You need a DJ, man. throw the tunes in there, man. But
once we get enough money, we can hire a DJ.
Yeah, we need a sponsor or two, man. We do need a sponsor too. I don't mind sponsoring anybody. You know what we're gonna do though?
What's up?
This was what our new Throwback Thursday thing's gonna be.
Okay.
At least until COVID-19 is over. We about to start having the best of the best.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
saying? Elaborate for me. So
the best of the best. I'm gonna contact the best receivers in Kentucky history. I'm going to contact the best running backs. If it's the best defensive back, safeties, best linebackers, defense players, whatever. Not self-proclaimed, but statistically or publicly proclaimed. And we're gonna have about 6, 7, 8 windows in here. And we're gonna dictate a conversation like who's the best. Because you know what I hear every time I go out in public?
What's that?
If I would have played y'all offense, I would have had this many, that many percent. I would have broke. Craig only played in the offense 2 years, and he set a pretty high. Craig's still number 1. I don't think anybody passed him.
Does he still have it? Yeah,
Craig
I know. I mean,
Derek Abney may have, but I think he played 4 years in that offense.
And you had Stevie Johnson played too, right?
No, Stevie Johnson nowhere. If anybody's close, it would have been Derek Abney or Waylon. No, Waylon won because he played 1 year.
No, he played tight end. No, he didn't get that many.
Shit, Waylon had like 100. He had the most. I believe he had the most receptions in the season. Like he had 109 in one season, 108.
Who was he the safety blanket for?
Who?
Waylon. Who's the quarterback?
He was Dusty Bonner was the quarterback that year.
Oh, well, that's why.
That year, my receptions dropped. I think I only had like 60 or something, 50 or 60. And he had the other. Yeah, because I'm sure 20 or 30 I should have had. He had them.
I'm sure Dusty and Waylon kind of created that chemistry when they was doing second team or scout team or whatever the year prior. You know what I'm saying? No,
Dusty was very smart in the offense. He knew where his outlets were. He knew when it was time to get the ball out of my hands. Dusty was very smart about that offense. Like he said, he'd been running since middle school. So Dusty knew how to run Hal Mumby's offense. So he knew where his outlets was. He knew where his safety valves was, and he utilized them. And I just think most people who played us, they figured out the umbrella was the best thing. So everybody just sat back and kept everything underneath. And that's kind of,
Well, that was probably because y'all didn't have anybody blow the top off the covers after Yeast and who else? And Quentin.
No, Quentin was still there.
Oh, Quentin was still
Quentin
there?
came out a year after I did.
Yeah, but Quentin was more of a possession receiver.
Nah, Quentin was all that. He was probably more of a take the top off than possession.
Oh, okay. Hey.
He was probably more of taking shit. Quentin had like 17 catches, 8 touchdowns or something, man. Something silly, man. Like almost half of his catches was touchdowns, man. It was something silly. It was a huge number.
Hey, Ant. I got our boy Ross. Welcome to the show, Mr. Reed. How you doing, man? Gentlemen?
I'm good, brothers. How you doing?
Doing
What's
well,
going on,
man.
big fella?
Good.
My boy Ant's a little scared of you. He didn't someone
Hey,
in good shape, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And I have to
scared. Hey, man,
tell your
don't ever
business. I
use
gotta
the
tell your
word
business, man.
scared
Gotta tell
and
your
ant
business.
white in the same sentence. Now, you
Oh,
can use white and scared in the same sentence, but don't use Anthony White or anything with my name in it and scared in the same sentence.
okay, I'm gonna use Aunt B scared. How's that? Not scared, but scared. Is that better?
Man, get out my face, man.
How you doing, Ross, man?
I'm good. How you guys doing? How you guys holding up?
Good, man.
Good, man.
Trying to stay safe, man. Trying to stay safe.
Absolutely.
Tell our people a little bit about yourself, Ross, before I really dig into you.
Let's see. From Chicago, currently reside in Chicago. One wife, as if I would have more than one wife. One is hard enough. And one 3-year-old little boy. Graduate of Hampton University, Hampton, Virginia. Sports journalism major. Also strong health and fitness background, and I still do a lot of both. Kind of retired from writing on the sports journalism side, but still do a lot of podcasting, stuff like this, just because that's where the industry has trended towards. And then I work in the corporate office for Orange Theory Fitness out of the Illinois area.
Well, and he giving a resume breakdown. I thought you were gonna tell me about your podcast, man. You breaking it down. His granddad is such and such. All
you gotta do, follow me on Twitter at Ross Reed, as Van would know, READ, and you can get all the podcast information, all my crazy hot takes, anything you want is all right there.
Yeah, you will often see me killing them on Twitter because
I'm still stuck off the point that this brother has one wife.
One wife.
No.
He's proud of it.
How
many a person supposed to have? This ain't Zaire.
Depends on where you're from. Depends on where you're from. If I was like Andre Kirilenko, I might have like 4 or 5. I don't know.
That was off top too. That was on your mind for a while there, Ross. You led with one wife.
I got crossed up with the one kid and the one wife. I got one of each.
Facts. So man, let's I don't want to kill you first with all my predictions that are killing you, but I want to lead off with this with the Last Dance, man. Mm-hmm. Since you are a Chicago boy and you came up at the height of MJ, what's your favorite childhood memory? It doesn't have to be a game, and you could have met him at I can't even, Dominic's or one of the grocery stores, or something on the side of the road or something.
Side of the road, man. Don't get no side of the road references when you talk about MJ. That's where his daddy.
I know. I caught myself.
You know, my favorite childhood memory of Michael is he was the first athlete. Let me take that back. He was the first black athlete I saw as a kid that was all over TV and commercials. And, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, he had a cartoon with like Wayne Gretzky and Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I do remember Saturday morning. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Superstars, and
yeah,
he did movies and cameos, and the guy was on SNL. He was the first black athlete that I had ever saw do something like that. Because back then, you know, you had like the Montanas of the world and the Gretzkys and some of the baseball players, even like a Mario Lemieux or something like that. But Michael was the first guy I remember. So it was like, as a kid, like you get so excited seeing like the Like Mike commercial from Gatorade and stuff like that. And it was just like, you really wanted to, you know, in Chicago, we idolized that man. We really wanted to be him. Now, as you got to be older and you got to be your own man and a grown man, you start to hear the other side of Michael. You're like, you respect them a whole lot and the accomplishments that he did, but you realize Michael, as basically every other professional athlete, is just a very flawed man, you know?
Yeah,
Hey man, before we go any further, did you give him the disclaimer? Because he sound like we lead down. He sound like we lead down. Did you give him a disclaimer about
Man,
if he starts giving information and if we request more information on the story, have you given the rundown?
well, it's in our bio that we're in the locker and no holds bar. You gotta address the issues that are asked of you. So, but he ain't scared though. He just said it. I've been trying to preach that to you, Ant, since day one. Been trying to preach the same thing to you.
Well, he ain't like you, man. It's your guest, your friend.
Yeah.
But he's welcome into our home anytime. All I'm saying is, I just want to make sure because I don't know the brother like that. That you know me.
Yeah.
You know me. I have cost my own self a job by talking out of turn.
Right.
So I just want to make sure I don't make your guest feel uncomfortable and the screen go black.
No, man. That's
where Reed go, man.
Right. You start sweating.
No.
That one wife come and becomes nothing after you get to him.
Yeah, we could address any and everything.
Yeah, man. I've been trying to preach to Ant about what you just said, and that's the main reason I never had a pair of Jordans. Now I'm not from Chicago, so I don't live to the old hype, all the hype, and being a Laker fan, I don't like Jordan anyway. But getting to Chicago and hearing the stories, not being witness, but being close enough to it to understand, like, man, he's not the greatest, the person that everybody thinks he is as a person. The player is unquestionable. There's no dispute of how great he is as a player. But as a person, it makes me
what kind
pause.
of person do you have to be? Like, you tell me something that diminish. You know how many people think a lot of people like me, and it's alarming how many people like me. Alarming how many people like me, because I am not I'm not a get along person. Like, however I feel, you gonna know it, and you take that back where you wanna. So for a guy like Michael Jordan, who has to exist to every single person every time he goes into public. So Reed, what you give me one instance. We could take we're gonna slow cook you like Van like dude. We're gonna slow cook you. Give me an instance where you might have been around Michael or a third party story that's something with you like, man, you know, Michael, he's not a role model figure.
Right. I think the low-hanging fruit part is the fact that the man probably worked his ass off so much and was so competitive to get to the top that he probably sacrificed his family to do so. And, you know, think about it, right? This was, as you watch the documentary, what's the one thing missing from the documentary?
That is true. His mama's on there.
The wife and
kids.
kids.
On
there. Talk about his daddy, but
talks about his father.
Yeah.
Ex-wife out the picture.
Yeah.
He's got 3 kids with the ex-wife.
Right.
Marcus, Jeffrey, and Jasmine.
Yep.
And he's got a new wife, and he's got twins with a new wife, but he keeps that side of it separate. But the Juanita, Marcus, Jeffrey, Jasmine aspect is out of the picture because the man probably was an awful. No, let me take that. I don't know if he was awful or not. I can't speculate that. He probably wasn't around during the late 80s into the late 90s when all of those kids were very, very young, because they're a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
And I'll be 39 in October. And, you know, it's no secret that his divorce was very messy. It was very messy. And if you think about it, right, take this little snapshot for a second. Michael Jordan walks away from basketball in 1993, goes to play baseball in Birmingham, Alabama for 17 months, right? 21 months, I think it was. Yeah. Comes back, grinds his ass off to come back. In the off season, goes and shoots Space Jam in California, and then comes right back into a season. You didn't see your family for 3 years, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny though he said that because during and people made sense of it, and I don't know if it's a lot to take from it or if it's just something that I picked up on. A lot of people picked up on it, when he won the championship, and the person came, one of our former teammates, man,
Who?
said, "Did you notice when Jordan won that? The dude brought the phone to him and said, 'Hey, you want to call your wife?' Like somebody had to remind you." And like I said, I understand. Yeah. I ain't married. You guys are married. So, but my thing is, first thing I probably gonna do is celebrate with my teammates, call my mom, tell her I love her, and then say something to my boys. Like, I don't understand what a wife comes into, parents, teammates. Like, I'm going home to you at the end of the night, so I don't really know where it comes into play. But I don't know if that was calculated to put in there just on the screen where they had somebody come in and say, "Hey, you want to call your wife and handle the phone?" And you make the point to say his family ain't in the dang on thing.
No,
Maybe they're going to get the last piece. I don't know.
And just think about this. You get all these players in the championship. Drew Brees has his son on his hip when he got his headphones on. You got all these other guys with kids.
Steph Curry got Riley out there.
Right.
To say Riley Curley was famous.
Exactly. Yeah. But you never, I forgot he even had a daughter.
I didn't know that.
Right. And he's a grandfather by her. She has at least one kid, right, Ross? I think she has one.
She's got a daughter now, yeah.
Yeah. We don't hear about that.
Wow.
I think I saw one image of the doc where there was a picture of two when he was in that room with his guards. I think that was Jeffrey in there with him. I think both of them were in there, but never anything was said about him.
And that's the thing is, when players win championships, you see their kids all up in it. They're all around, and even LeBron has his kids, and you've seen Dwayne Wade, and we've seen Steph Curry. In all sports, family is a big part of the celebration, the final accomplishment. And he just never had that. The person who was always at his side was his father.
Right.
His father was, he's got brothers too. He's got siblings. You don't even hear really that much about his siblings.
No, we talked a lot about Larry in the videos I watched when he was a kid. I can't remember the other one's name was.
It's
the oldest one.
It's really reminiscent of Tiger Woods in that situation. Tiger was very much the same. Tiger was super close to his father, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't see it from Tiger until the comeback, where his kids started to be out there more with him and stuff like that. And don't forget, Tiger learned all of his ways from Michael and Charles Barkley.
Leave Chuck out of this, man. Chuck is sacred.
Come on, man.
We have to build a fence around Chuck.
So when Michael started crying at the end of episode 7, he was like, I did this because I wanted to win, and I pushed, and he's like, and he starts tearing up, and he's like, break. I don't think it was because he felt like he was getting emotional because he was pushing the team too much at the time. He didn't give a shit about that. I think he was getting emotional because he realizes now, at whatever age he is, the sacrifices he made probably personally to get to that level.
See, that's a heck of a point. I was saying that on Tuesday after the show. That is a heck of a point. I was trying to find out where the tears was coming from. Was it because you were successful? So the tears come from, and it's not tears of adulation because now it's so many years removed that you already know you've won there. So I thought it was something that was missing. Like I took it as two things, exactly what you said, or I worked so hard to accomplish this. I don't understand why people can't respect that. Or I did what you wanted me to do. I worked so hard and I accomplished it. Why do you still have reservations, or why people don't respect that? But on the other hand, the point you bring up is I worked so hard I neglected so many things while working so hard.
Right. And I think that's what it is. I mean, he lost a marriage, and he had kind of a distant relationship with his kids because he chose achievements and accomplishments on the court over family. At least Kobe got to kind of fix that before he passed, like at the last few years of him being in LA and then transitioning into retirement. Michael kept going. I mean, Michael left, was like, I'm going to buy a team. I'm going to come back and play. Like I'm going to run this team. I'm going to go to Charlotte now from Washington. He just kept grinding. Kept grinding. At least Kobe took a step back and was like, all right, I need to kind of fix some stuff that that I didn't get right. And again, Kobe, another guy that learned from Michael.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So
I with this doc, man, Pippen is not shown in a great light. But I've read that is Mike gonna throw him a bone in these next two episodes and sway the opinion of him, because he hit kind of hard. He hit
Hey,
kind of
mom,
hard
hey,
early.
my mama's watching, man. Say hi to my mama. She's watching.
Hey,
I got to get to the Twitter. My fault. Go ahead. I'm checking the messages.
Yes, sir.
Reed, say hi to my mama, man.
Hi, Mama. I'm sorry. Hi, Mama.
So, do you think Jordan's gonna throw him a bone in these last two episodes? At least kind of get him going in the right direction at the end.
You know what? I think he threw as much of a bone towards Scotty's way as he will by saying that he thought Scotty was quote unquote the perfect teammate. I mean, those two had a very strained relationship. They never hung out off the court. They weren't really friends. They were just two guys that knew their role on the court. But also, you know, Michael didn't really have a lot of friends, at least on the team. Like, you know, towards the end, his best friend was the guy that you saw at the end of the last one. He called a hole like 4 times, Scott Burrell. Like, he liked Scott Burrell.
That's what, dude. That's why is Scott getting so much PT in this doc? He's
because him and Michael are close, very close, still to this day. Oh yeah.
Is it?
They were really close.
Is it because Scott played baseball? Because Scotty was a damn good baseball player. Is that why?
It might be. And I think, you know, Michael liked guys that kind of fit into his circle, and kind of like it's kind of like how he's an owner now. Like, he didn't like too many like alpha dogs with him. And
hey, hold on, man.
What?
Charles Barkley got in trouble for saying that. Don't say that about Mike. Don't say that about Mike. Charles Barkley got in trouble.
Right. Michael kept a friend around that basically just let him call him a hoe all the time.
Right. That's what. Man, did we not talk about this on Tuesday? It's like, dude, we going at it. I'm sorry. One, okay, it's Mike. I'll take one, maybe a half of one, maybe a whole of it. But come on, man, he punked him too much.
Well, that's why Steve Kerr ended up getting into a Michael in practice, and Michael broke his nose because Steve Kerr said, "You're not going to keep pushing me around in practice all the time. You're not going to keep calling me out and pushing me." And Steve Kerr had it. And he had hand checked Michael really hard and popped him in the ribs. And Michael turned around and decked him right in the face.
Yeah, and that wasn't the first one. That's the one that kills me. He didn't just do that one time. He did that multiple times. He didn't learn from one.
But he's been on record saying that's the best thing that ever happened, because after that he respected me, he appreciated me, and he wouldn't have passed me that ball in Game 5. I think it was Game 5 of the first Utah championship to win the series.
Yeah, it was Game 5 because Jordan won Game 6.
Yeah.
But I think, didn't Kerr have a black eye in the game or something? Is that how it became public, though? Yeah, I think that's the only way it became public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, since we are on episode 8, and you live in the city and been through it, has anything changed your opinion on MJ or anybody on the team? Because I forgot about that BJ Charlotte game. BJ got a little notch up on me because I forgot all about that. Has your opinion changed on anyone since watching these that you didn't know about?
No, I don't think so. I think it's helping people remember that. I think especially as you get to these last 2 episodes, Michael does a lot of the heavy lifting. Like that last season, Scotty's back is a mess.
Yeah. Like
he can barely finish the Utah series. And Dennis Rodman is borderline insane at that point. He's having his worst season as a Bull. He's not really grabbing boards anymore. And Michael just like put that team on the back and said, we're going to get this last championship. And I think that's the part of it that people are going to realize. And also people are going to realize That team was this close to losing to that Pacers team, which was probably the biggest Eastern Conference test they ever saw in the whole Jordan championship era. Obviously, the Bad Boy Pistons were the toughest team they went through, but after they got past the Pistons, everybody thinks it was the Knicks. The Knicks were never really a big threat to me, just because they didn't have the shooting, and they really couldn't guard Michael for 6 or 7 games. That Pacers team was tough.
Yeah,
They had
yeah,
Davis
that Pacers team was
boys, Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller was playing at a high level. Rick Smith was
Rick
on that
Smith.
team.
Yep.
It was a tough basketball team, and the fact that they pushed the Bulls to a Game 7 in Chicago, says more than you need to know about that Pacers team.
Right. And remember they had Jalen Rose on that team too.
They did have a young Jalen Rose.
Yeah, that was a
They
squad.
weren't using Jalen enough back then.
Nah, well, he was, I don't think they actually knew how to use Jalen because he wasn't a point guard in the league. He was probably more of a small forward in small ball. But as I said all the time, if he would have played one more year, they would have lost to Indiana that next season.
A lot of people speculate, will the Bulls have won 8 if he didn't retire? Did they leave one on the table when he left in '98 with the lockout season? They had the right amount of championships, because I think in '93 he was genuinely gassed. Like, when you play 100 games a season for like 7 years straight,
right?
That he never missed games. There was no load management back then. He didn't. He was tired. I think they would have lost to somebody. That Houston team was on the come up during that time that he took off, and they wouldn't have won 8 straight, in my opinion.
Can you imagine Luke Longley guarding Hakeem?
I can't imagine anybody guarding Hakeem back then.
Nobody.
That would have been chopped liver. Hey, we got a few more minutes, and before we let Ross go, I want to talk about, because we talked about this earlier today or yesterday, Ross, about the NBA coming back. When do you think it's going to come back? And do you think it's going to be in a controlled city where it's only one city, or it's 2 cities? It's going to be an east and west location? And what do you think about that?
So I think Orlando is 100% like option 1, only because if you've ever been to Disney World, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. You can, and they already have the courts. They have the infrastructure there because ESPN has set up courts there years ago to kind of do their own stuff. So you can have 10, 12, even 16 teams on Disney World's campus, and they're not even near each other. And then they already have the buses set up there. You've got restaurants there. You could bring Disney World workers back. Now, it depends. I've seen in the news that Disney World wants to start reopening in July with people reserving on a reservation basis. So I don't know if they put all 16 teams there, but you maybe put the East teams there and you put the West teams in Vegas. And Vegas has got some options. Vegas runs Summer League there, so they've got about 3 or 4 courts there. The Raiders Stadium is done. You can turn the inside of the Raiders Stadium into a basketball court if you want to. You can put everybody up in like Mandalay Bay in Vegas, which is super far off Strip, right? It's not near anybody, and you can do that. So, but I just think there's too much money on the table for the owners and for the players, especially with this new CBA coming up, for them not to figure out something that runs from July until Labor Day.
So if that happens, when is the next season gonna? Is they gonna force them to, as you said and many people said, that basketball will start December instead of earlier?
Not only would it start December and going to August, but I'm going to tell you, I think it should permanently be that way.
Well, once they start, it's going to be tough to adjust back.
But that's completely fine, right? Because think about it. Football, NFL and college dominates October, November, and through December, right? People are not really, they're watching the NBA, but it's not really on their radar until Christmas Day when they give you that big lineup. And then on the flip side of it, there's a whole June, July, August where baseball is not really even it's kind of getting going, but it's not getting that exciting yet, where The NBA can just dominate that time, dominate July and August. And so to me,
because
it just makes more sense. The more you can get out the way of the NFL, the more that you can help your product out. You got to go December through August, in my opinion, permanently.
and it'll definitely be nice to kill that baseball time, give us a real sport to watch
I'm
instead
still a
of
baseball guy.
watching baseball,
Still a baseball
man.
guy.
I know that's so.
Hey, but there ain't gonna be any net loss at the end of the day. There's not a net loss if you don't have the fan capacity and all that extra fan concessions,
Parking.
all that other stuff. There won't be a loss. There
They'll
won't be a loss of revenue. Where
they'll
at the end of the day, you better off just not playing. And I don't know.
So there'll definitely be a net loss. But here's the thing: is the NBA, the reason why the salary cap keeps going up is mostly because of the TV ratings.
Right.
They need to somehow still get these TV networks their ratings to keep that money, because there's a clause in the contract that says if NBA teams don't get to 70 games and then the playoffs and NBA finals, the owners got to give back a big chunk of that money.
Oh wow.
They don't want to give that money back. They do not want to give that money back. So it's like, we'll take the loss on the concessions and ticket sales and all that stuff, but we got to keep this TV money. This TV money means more than anything else right now. That's why they got to get this stuff, because the TV money gets taken away. Then all of a sudden in the new CBA, then the players' contracts and the max deal goes from, I don't know where it's at right now, $30 million or whatever, to maybe it's only $20 million. Then all of a sudden, your superstars are upset, and then it affects the salary cap implications. So, all of a sudden, Giannis can't sign a bigger max contract, or the Bucks can't put more around him, and it just becomes a real free-for-all situation.
Yeah, that affect the lower end guys more than you think, because then the league minimum would probably go down a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they gotta get something in.
I feel you. Last topic. I'm gonna end on it so I can have you upset going back to your wife and kids.
My one wife.
What's up with Mitch Trubisky? What's gonna happen with Mitch, man? Or the Bears gonna start him? Anymore. Huh?
That doesn't even make me sad anymore. I'm so apathetic on Mitch. It doesn't even make me sad anymore. Mitch is done. Mitch is done in Chicago. He's done. He's done.
You really think he's done?
Barring some unforeseen. Here's the thing. I don't think the young man. I think he has the skill set. I don't think he's mentally tough. I don't think he's proven to be mentally tough. I don't even think he's a very smart football player, because he keeps making the same mistakes over and over again. And so I just don't see how he can come out of this to show the mental toughness to beat out a guy that here's a guy that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say what you want about Nick Foles, but there's something about Nick Foles that got a little magic to him. He's not afraid of the big level. He certainly is not afraid of Mitchell Trubisky.
Well, that's true. I
think just Mitch just needs he needs to. I think Mitch can be a quality backup in the NFL and maybe even try and start again. Maybe have an Alex Smith type of career. But Chicago has beaten him up so much. He is taking a beating. I don't think his skin is thick enough to overcome from this. I don't think the front office has his back anymore.
He may need to just let people go back to just calling him Mitchell. When he wanted to be called Mitch, that's when shit went downhill for him.
I told Van that on Twitter. I said it worries me when a man has been Mitch his whole life, and all of a sudden he gets drafted and he's like, "You got to call me Mitchell. You got drafted on Mitch. How you got drafted?" And all of a sudden you're going to start changing stuff. It reminds me of, and this is completely different, but when Jason Williams, Jason Williams got drafted by the Bulls.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got to be Jay Williams because there's too many negative Jasons out there. I'm just like, brother, you got here on Jason. I know you're not the guy that shot the limo driver. I can distinguish between the two.
Wow. And you went back to Jay Will. Oh, man. Well,
should have stayed Jason.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Spending time away from your one wife and your one kid.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
Later.
Been a pleasure, man.
Peace.
And what's going on, man?
Good dude, man. Good dude there, man. Good dude, man. He still ain't give me enough, but you know what? So only thing that from what he said can make some sense. And this might be Mike. For Mike to sit down this long and do this, I think this last series is gonna be him giving his family some props. But there ain't enough video footage, like he said, like Reed said, there ain't enough video footage of Jordan with his boys or Juanita to make a series. Now he may verbally, commit to them in these scenes, but I think that's the last scene it's gonna be.
You think so?
Because they didn't hit every topic, like you say, he didn't hit it.
Right.
I can't think of any topics we done missed.
Right. Right.
Hey. And maybe the divorce battle, but I don't know if he was going to he wouldn't go to divorce back then.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know what to say about Mike. I already said what I've said many times to you. You know how I feel. But to hear from someone else who was there, grew up during the time, it makes you feel like there was some realness to that. It's just hard, man. It's hard. There's much more than winning. I know we all want to win, but there's a point of the way you treat your teammates, the way you treat everybody around you, that matters too. And I know winning, we all want to win, man. I don't like saying that, but it's just still a little bit more to it. And like I said on Tuesday, I don't think his players really appreciate it in the moment. I think you appreciate it now because now you realize, I have Pippen at 6, Kerr has 3. Like I got 3 championships because I played with him. But as a whole, I'm not sure if in the moment you're like, "Yay, we winning!"
I think Kerr got more than 3. Kerr got some. Didn't he got a couple with San Antonio?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Bulls when he was playing there with Mike.
Oh yeah.
He was part of that second three-peat.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I think we got a fraternity, though. We got a fraternity, so it's kind of like, as well as I do, when you with your teammates, you can do certain stuff. Like the way I interact with y'all or some people, and that's why people really don't understand. Like I only interact a certain way. Like most people think like, man, he's self-kept. Like I'm self-kept. Like I'm introverted. So it's kind of like most people think that. But people who know me, they're like, man, that dude don't shut up, or he's too much. And so I think that's kind of how it is. Man, y'all giving Jordan a bad rap. Like everything he do, y'all just giving him a bad rap. I think he knows what he can do away with his teammates. He knows what he can do with his teammates, and his teammates like, man, that's just Jordan. You know what I mean? Like I've said, like I've told you plenty of times, there's been many of people who said, man, you was arrogant, you was this. And you won't probably find more than 2 people that I played with to say I was arrogant. Because we all were coming in as the best players where we came from.
Yeah.
So I don't consider arrogant. If like me and Tim Couch can talk about each other, man, I made you. We can go back and forth. Neither one of us feelings gonna be hurt. Right. But we know it ain't nothing to it. Right. And he may genuinely feel like he made me. Right. I may genuinely feel like I made him.
Right.
Like,
no, I feel you.
Nobody from the outside can't be listening like, oh, he was talking to Tim Couch. So I'm saying when y'all talk about Jordan and the way he treated his teammates, I really don't think it's as bad as everybody makes it seem. Like he was just bullying them. I think that was just a way of communication.
Well, it's more than just that, though. You know what I'm saying? That's just one aspect. There's much more than just his teammates. It's his kids. It's his family. It's the way he treated Jerry Krause. Now I know Jerry Krause is not held in high regards to many people, but still. The way he treated Jerry was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Jerry he was wrong.
Because what he said was Jerry didn't understand what he was going through.
I understand, but
like he's building a championship to sweat. All you were doing is sitting back there pushing buttons and signing checks.
But
You're not out here making the sacrifices Jordan making.
But
so don't sit here and act like, well, I got more say so because you are above him. I understand that. You're not in there. You're not in the fight with me.
But
so the best thing, but prime example, Jerry Jones. Like I kind of like Mark Cuban. Like when you up that level, you hire the people. Let the people do what they do. Don't sit in there, especially when you talk about one of the greatest players on the planet. Don't sit there and dictate how we gonna get to the next championship. No, we are sweating. Have a meeting with him. Let's talk. But he didn't want to talk to him. Maybe because Jordan talked down to him. He didn't like it. And so the bigger question is, would Cross has had that much success without Jordan?
And you telling me that that's okay?
Yeah.
I just want you telling me the way he treat people is okay.
I'm saying it's okay enough. It depends. It depends. No, honestly, it depends. Because if I want to accomplish something, I go through that with my family. Like I'm the most driven person in my family. I got a family full of lazy people. Like me and my mother, I can motivate her and she can motivate me.
Okay.
But my sister, my niece and nephews, them jokers are lazy.
I hope they ain't watching.
So if I get you, if I drag you by the back of your shirt and be like, hey, get up, we have to go do this, yeah, they'll do it for me. And at the end of the day, everything is gonna work out right. But is it right? Sometimes to be successful, it takes doing something you don't want to do. To be different, to be on top, you got to do shit that other people won't do. I guess that's the bottom line. You know that.
Yeah, but there's a level of decorum that needs to be shown that your leader is incapable of showing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not honestly, I'm not saying he's wrong, because Jerry they were equally part of the problem. But as the leader of your brothers, I'm gonna say this. Michael handling Cross the way he handled him allowed Scottie Pippen to do the same thing. Michael Jordan handling Tony Kukoc the way he did allowed Scottie Pippen to handle him the way he did. Now there was some players on the team that didn't agree with the way it was handled. They weren't gonna step up to Mike and do it, but they knew the way he treated Kukoc was wrong. Steve Kerr would say the same thing about Jerry. It's just that kind of stuff personally rubs me wrong.
It can rub you the wrong. It can rub you personally the wrong way. You know why it rubs you personally the wrong way?
Why's that? Talk to me.
Because you are a teacher's pet. You are a favorite. You are always a coach's favorite player. This is one thing I don't think you understand, Van. I have never had a coach like me. And
well,
it may be
I understand.
Because they all don't like me. And this is what I have never had a coach I'm their favorite. It's always been, they put up with me because I'm productive. So I'm saying but for all of them to not like me, it must be something about my personality. My personality is just tell me what you want me to do and get the hell out of my way. Like, I don't have time for you to sugarcoat me. I don't want you patting me on the back. I don't want to be your favorite. I don't want you to sugarcoat nothing. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. If I'm doing right, then leave me alone. We ain't about to sit here. That is the case. We're not about to sit here. When I came on campus, everything was, man, and like I said, rightfully so. You were a good player. You did what the coaches asked you. You were cerebral. You stayed watching videos and whatever. And like I say, you done got burnt before because you like to guess and stuff. And if you got burnt, it was still not a problem with you. I make a mistake. I'm off the team because I'm not a personable person. I don't want to be a personable person. All I want to do at the end of the day, when I come into a group, is win and be successful. Whether it's business, whether it's sports. I want to come into the group. I want to be successful.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to do. And that's what I said earlier. Whatever I have to do.
There's just a level of, I don't know. It's just, I would say, I don't know, I don't know how I treat them, how my teammates felt, how I treat them, but I tried to treat everybody with some respect.
And you did. And you absolutely did. And you could do that because nobody was ever breathing down your neck.
Well, what? Like media? Come on. What?
I'm not saying media. No, anybody. Okay. Put it like this: the dudes you played with, was everybody comfortable in their role, or was there a lot of bickering going on amongst others? In your position alone.
Oh yeah, there wasn't a lot, but there was definitely
right because that shit wasn't happening to you. So the people who not getting the playing time they think they should, or the person that's getting chewed out every time they make a mistake, they gonna have a problem with the next person. So I'm saying Jordan's point is we just trying to win. If you not out here with me, I'm not trying to hear all that bull y'all talking about.
See, I don't. I'm gonna just say this. I personally should have started 33 games. I didn't start 33 games. I don't know what the ending total was, but I should have been a 3-year starter. I definitely should have started my freshman year because we had some ballers. But my sophomore year, I should have started every game. My damn senior year, I should have started every game, but I didn't.
Your junior year, you damn sure should start every year. Y'all going 1-10. Y'all going 1-10. You damn sure should. Dude, somebody should have been starting.
Hey, and you know what's crazy now that I think about that? No, that's my sophomore year. Never mind. I'm trying to think. I had my concussions my sophomore year. Did I?
Yeah, plenty. You had concussion my freshman year, 95, when you got knocked out by Chris Jones.
So that would have been my junior year then.
Oh, so it was a sophomore year y'all went 1-10. Yeah, that's why you were starting.
No, I didn't. I didn't start every. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't start every game.
If you wasn't starting, you must have been bad. If y'all going 1-10 and you can't get no playing time too. I
led the team in interceptions. How I'm bad? We just had a situation where coach had a certain protocol of who started, who didn't, and sometimes I didn't achieve those requirements during the week. Although on game day, I'm balling, but in a week, I might not practice a day. I might not practice 2 days. And if I don't practice, you don't start. That was basically how it went. But for me, I look at performance on Saturdays. And it wasn't like I was dogging practice. I just couldn't practice. But whatever. And I said this, there are so many different ways of being a leader. And I just don't like now. I just hope that these young kids now don't see this documentary and saying, oh, if I want to win 6 championships, I got to do it this way. Because Mike did it. Mike did it. Well, I'm going to punch my teammate.
No, come on, man. It was you mean to tell me it wasn't scraps on the field when teammates with teammates? Yeah. When you played, there wasn't scraps on the field.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Jason Wise, Marvin Major, man, I can tell you everybody who was out there scrapping, man.
You remember?
I don't care to throw a name out there, man.
You remember when Cross and
George?
No, it's James Tucker.
M.A. fought George too.
I don't remember George. George Harris.
Yeah. M.A. fought. Yep.
I don't remember George Harris getting on a field fight. I mean, George Harris got in a couple
practice. In practice, yeah, it might have been a scrimmage. Yeah, they fought. Yeah. Or it was him and the tight end. It was either Cross or Isaac. I don't think it was.
No, man, I think it was Isaac Curtis. That's what you said. I think
it might have been Ike. I know it was a tight end.
Yeah, you're right. It's coming back. I think you're right. Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna just leave it at that. To me, it's a little different, but I understand your point. But you have heard me since we started this thing about in this documentary about my I don't want to say dislike, but why I'm not a big fan of MJ like everybody else or the majority of people.
I mean, you could take it however you want to, man. I just like success however it comes. Like, my thing is I just like success however it comes. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I don't mind the sacrifice. Like, the worst thing in the world is, and not the worst thing in the world, but if you pick up a key first down to keep a drive alive, who lines up for the game-winning field goal. They interviewing everybody but the person who picked up the first down.
Right. That's true.
My goal was never to be the most outstanding player on my team. My goal was to be integral in any part of the success we needed. If we need a first down, if it's 3rd and 8, I'm getting 9 yards, 8.5, 9 yards. That was my whole goal. It wasn't the score. It wasn't at the end of the day, I need this many yards when we're running the clock out. If you want to put the youngsters in, put the youngsters in. But by the same token, don't put somebody else in and we gonna lose the game or when the game's still in the balance and when things happen. Because go back and look at Vanderbilt 1999. Go look at the Vanderbilt stats from 1999 and watch what happened. And my whole point is never about me. So when I see Jordan willing this team to win, it takes something different, man. Maybe you haven't had sustained success or whatever. You've been a successful individual, but I don't think you can fathom because I've always been on teams full of success. And I'm not saying this because of me. So, but I do know it takes a special person and a special dedication to sustain it. You got to do stuff you don't want to do. I mean, back in we were in middle school and high school in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Around crack, introduction of when crack was introduced.
Right.
So you got kids who smoke marijuana and want to go and do all this. Right. Your homeboys, I mean, I don't know what neighborhood you from. They going to do that. They calling me a punk because I'm doing this. We going to play basketball at the city rec. And they over there dealing drugs. And because we ain't doing it, you know, I mean, you could always be like, oh, the cool kids over there. Like I said, to me, it's always a certain point of dedication and a difference you got to be a champion. And like I said, maybe you don't come down or punching somebody in the face, but the best teammates or friends I've ever had is the ones I've had a skirmish with.
Really?
Because at that point, it ain't no barriers. At that point, we know, hey, man, if you do something I dislike, it's going to be addressed. I don't want no punks around me. Like, I don't want nobody around me who is scared to tell me I'm doing something wrong or whatever. And that's why I don't think Jordan really wants that around him. But if you're going to be around me, you're going to be a punk, I'm going to treat you like a punk. But if you're going to be on my team and you're going to be a dog, then I need you to be a dog because the other team ain't going to back down. Jordan out there getting beat up. I don't want you passing me the ball because you scared to getting beat up.
Right. That's interesting, man. Yeah. I hear you. And there's so many different ways to skin a cat. And I don't think Jordan won 6 just because he's an ass. I think Jordan won 6 because of his ability and his mindset. I don't think he had to, in my opinion, be the ass he was, and it didn't equal being the ass didn't equal championships. His ability equaled championships. You know what I'm saying?
But did you never hear the part where he said that the people who came along, like Jordan was taking whoopings back in the late 80s. Yeah. He was taking whooping. So when they finally started winning, you can't come in here and tell them, no. He knew what it took for them to get there. Is why he was punching people and shit.
Well, but you got to realize too, the reason why he got there because they drafted Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant in the same draft.
Reason, dude. That's not the only reason. Man.
Come on now.
Scottie Pippen wasn't the only draft pick in that lottery. Now Scottie Pippen worked out perfectly fine because of his contract and his mindset. There could have been other. Robert Horry, Iguodala, and I know these are different eras, but Robert Horry probably could have played in that same. I mean, there's a lot of people. Larry Johnson, and I know Larry Johnson's not the player. I'm saying they would have formed to be that player. Penny Hardaway. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people. Okay. I'm saying there's other people that could have came in that position.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't know that. But all I know is Jordan won 6 with Pippen and won 0 without Pippen. That's all I'm saying.
But Jordan was also figuring the stuff out. They said Jordan figured out once
Phil Jackson got
Pistons
there.
Was beating him up.
Once
and
Phil
he started
Jackson.
Realizing, man, they beat me up. All right, I see what their game is. I got to work through that. That's why we play 33 at the crib where it ain't no fouls. If you come into the lane, you may end up on your back. So when we playing in a regular game, man, when you slapping me in the face on the back of the head, that's expected. Like, that's the norm.
So do you think if they would have kept Doug Collins as a coach, do you think the Bulls would have won those first 3?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not because, like I said, it was so Jordan centric. Like it was so centered around Jordan. I mean, I understand that, but I do also understand that when Jordan learned how to just get buckets, and that's the one thing I think the biggest thing might have been that Scotty plays a lot of defense and he's 6'7".
There you go.
So
that's exactly
I mean, but like
what it
I
is.
said, you could have brought defensive stoppers. I'll put it like this: what if 2 years later they got half of the Pistons like they did? They brought in Sally or Vinny and Dennis, like defensive players who gonna let Jordan shoot, and defensively y'all not gonna get shots.
Here's the way I look at it: is it was a perfect storm getting a coach who was he was a player's coach, understood players, ran a system that benefited both Scotty and Jordan. It's the same way. Like I feel this way, and people debate me all the time. I feel like if Tom Brady wasn't under Bill Belichick, Tom Brady wouldn't be the GOAT.
I don't know.
That system. This is the way I look at it, right? When Tom Brady went out, when he blew his knee out, I don't want to say it. I can't remember the year. And they had Matt Castle come in, and they won 11 games with Matt Castle as quarterback.
Right.
He got Matt Castle paid. Matt Castle got two contracts because of that 1 year.
Right.
I'm not saying you win. I'm not saying that anybody could have won those Super Bowls with Bill, but Bill got lucky with Tom being on the staff or being on the team, and Tom was really lucky that Bill is the genius that he is on both sides of the ball. People don't understand how good of an offensive coach Bill Belichick is. He's just not a defensive genius.
Let me ask you this much. I tell people all the time, like, I don't think Tom is that great. I think he's great at what he does, whatever. You take what it is. I played with the mud, so I know firsthand what he can do. But my point is, I believe if you put Tim Couch in that same situation, which he was too high of a draft pick to be in that situation.
Yeah.
But I think if you put Tim with somebody who's offensive minded, I think he flourishes. Tim might have, because I know Tim can read better. His release because he's more of a feathery touch than he is a quick release. But he's accurate as shit.